In this Baldur's Gate 3 video, I'm going to be showing you how to disable the Steel Watcher in order to face off against Lord Gatash, as the Steel Watchers actually do a lot in the fight. Keep in mind my method is going to be tailored towards the quickest way possible, but there are a few other ways to do so, but they will require a higher time investment, and in my experience, it's not really worth it unless you really want the extra adventure. So again, it's going to be tailored towards just getting it done quickly so you can progress in the story. Now, to start this thing off, you need to be in the lower city of Act 3. This will take you to a gated warehouse in which you will need to get inside. I will have it on the map for you to see right here, as well as the coordinates on screen. But keep in mind, there will be a fight leading into this area, and without spoiling it, you will need to complete it or ignore it to continue. Now from here, you can either lockpick the front gate and sneak past the Steel Watcher or face it. I personally faced it because I value the extra XP, but do as you wish. Alternatively, if you can head to the side here and have access to a few spells, you can use them to become smaller and sneak into the factory this way, but ultimately it's going to be up to you how you get inside. For this next area, you should pay close attention, as it's pretty important not to make any mistakes and do what I exactly do here. Also, make sure you have a scroll of speaking to dead or the necklace that you got in Act 1 to make things much easier. So once inside, a fight will ensue and you will have to face off against a few enemies controlling gnomes. When killing the device holder, they will drop the control and the gnomes will become allies. They will try to run towards it, but they can't activate the little device. I would refrain from activating it, as they will make the gnomes your allies. Now, that's not a big deal, but honestly, the thing is, once they become allies, there's a lot more added to the quest, and it makes it a bit annoying in my opinion. So just let the time run out on this and finish the fight. Also, just keep in mind the device will explode as well, so just be mindful of that. And once the fight is over, loop the key off the body and then head over to the security door at the top right here. Within this security door will be a guy named Tobin, which you absolutely want to interact with and bring with you as you head on to the next area. You'll head down into the foundry and prepare for a fairly tough fight, and ideally you want to let Tobin die. Now that actually isn't that difficult to do, as again the fight can be pretty tough, and I would ideally want to be prepared for this fight. Just be mindful not to fast travel back to camp with Tobin in your party, as he can get bugged and it'll be a bigger nightmare than anything else, so just do it before so. But ultimately the fight is going to be a little tough, so be prepared and ideally let him die. Now, once you finished killing all the enemies in this room, you want to use the scroll of Speak with the Dead or the necklace to ask Tobin how to deactivate the factory. He will be forced to tell you how to deactivate the factory if his body isn't mutilated too bad, so just let him get hit by a sword or something. But ultimately, you want to get this information from him to finish the rest of the quest. From here, one of the corpses will have the key for you to basically progress on into facing off against the final part, which is against 4 enemies. 3 will be Steel Watchers, 2 of them being melee, and 1 being a range, plus the Magnus Opus construct, which is fairly tanky. Now, the way I did this was to surprise the middle one with Gale or a ranged character. I lined it up so that my allies were on the left, ready to rush the Watcher on the left since they're going to be surprised. I typically have all of my companions with some form of mobility, so it wasn't that hard to get Gale out of danger. But again, do this how you like. Ideally, you want to just single out one and kill them as quickly as possible. Of course, you won't be able to always do that, but again, just try to single them out and kill them as quickly as possible. And then finally, once you finish all the Watchers off, then you want to kill the boss at the very end. The boss will drop a legendary bow, so be sure to not miss this, as it's a pretty decent bow. And then you will head over to the console, use the information that was given to you by Tobin, and then that's pretty much it. There's not much more extra effort put into this. This is just the fastest way to do it. This, in my opinion, is going to be very helpful for the fight against Lord Gatash, because honestly it is just an extra added headache to have them walking around. And that's going to be it for this Baldur's Gate 3 very quick guide. On a side note, I will and have been rolling out Baldur's Gate 3 builds, so if you're interested in some awesome builds for Baldur's Gate 3, feel free to hit the like as well as subscribe to the channel, and maybe even leave a suggestion on what you would like to see in the future for this channel. With that said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next Baldur's Gate 3 video very soon. Later.